Hello, everybody. Oh, that was a bit loud. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked, casual listening podcast anchored in our love of folk music, but with enough slack on the line to bring you into our worlds of Limerick, Berlin, and beyond. My name is Andrew.
We're back, baby. We're back. My name is Ed. Ed, the gastrointestinal brophy. And you can catch us everywhere on the internet. But what's most helpful to us, I suppose, is if you subscribe to us on Substack. But you can catch the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And you can follow us on Instagram. Or you can befriend us on Facebook, and you can also watch us on YouTube. We're giving you everything. We're giving it all, except for last week, where we did not do any of that.
Well, you can still like that episode. It wasn't a total waste of time. You know, there was 13 minutes of reflection, I guess, you know, and thinking, and, you know, a lot of introspection. I guess we need those weeks now and again.
Just to delve deep into ourselves.
Ask the listener to delve a little deeper into themselves. Ask themselves their own questions as to why they're listening. You know?
Yeah, like, I mean, it's not why people listen to podcasts is so that they're not having to.
Oh yeah,
they listen to us and the answers we provide.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
guide them from week to week. It's true.
Like a shepherd, shepherd's Andy. A flock, but well done. Actually, I suppose that's the first thing I should say is well done on last week's little solo ditty that you did. How did you find doing it alone? Loved it.
Say a little stressful. A little stressful because it didn't have much like in the suitcase, in the coffer, in the suitcase.
The suitcase.
In my suede case. It's a suede case. It's just my suede. Yeah, a little stressful. It's kind of like, even though it was a one take thing. It wasn't I didn't want to give it too much time, because whatever you're going to do, it's kind of similar to going back to the beginning of doing this, and that kind of feeling of oh shit, I'm feeling very naked. I'm less naked when I'm with you. I wear you, like a toga.
We somehow wear each other. I'm not sure how that works. We are each other's tutus. Actually, no, I couldn't have picked a clothing item that covers less than a tutu. Something more that covers a bit more of the flesh.
Yeah.
But were you conscious of your voice at all? Like how your voice sounded, or
not particularly?
Like, the reason I ask is because I was when I did it. I was conscious of my voice. I think I listened back to it. I did a couple of test recordings and I listened back to it and I go, God, I sound like a knob, you know. No, maybe I always sound like that, but like
Is this what you're trying to get across? Because I sounded like a knob. Did you know that you sounded like a knob, Andrew? Were you realizing it as you were recording it? Or did the knob thing just develop?
Or is this just breaking news to you right now? Are you finding out at the same time as everybody else?
Well, to be honest with you, you're the first person I talked to about the 13 minutes episode, because I didn't listen to it myself, and
okay.
I don't really talk.
So you
to
don't
him,
know.
So I have no idea. Even when you text me, kind of mentioning that you had some concerned family members who were contacting you.
So I got some text messages during the week going, "Fuck, you okay, man? You all right? What happened? You going whatever? Everyone going to make it?" So I suppose I'll leave it to the listener to judge. I'm just going to read an excerpt from. This is a quote from Andy last week. We'll see why maybe some people got a bit concerned. So here we go. Quote: Hair Ed is sadly unable to make it this week due to atmospheric conditions. Full stop. He is having an irrigation problem, and he needs to find a way to pass through the hard rock that is his life. Full stop.
Okay, I can.
Basically, he's not able to do it this week. And you could take my word vomit and use it as you will, or think about it as you will. End quote. Me listening to that, I hear that quote and I think he's got a problem with his bowels. He's shat himself. Or something along those lines. Irrigation. But you also left it so wide open for. You've also maybe made it sound like I had a mental breakdown as well. Hard rock that is his life. My life's pretty fucking sweet, man. I just watched Andor this week. It's fucking cool.
Andor.
My life
what the fuck is
pretty
that?
sweet. Do you
Sounds
know
like
that?
something.
We'll get to that. So yeah, that's pretty.
Okay,
that
makes
you left
that
it wide
makes
open. That was
sense.
very alarmist. That was, but in a vague way. Like it was like the laziest version of alarmism, I think.
But surely, like, and this is what people
Analogies.
that did contact Ed afterwards with concern is like, would I be truly, if there was concern for Ed, be using the medium of podcast?
or the medium of analogies.
Well, I think that's quite possible. I think the day you are, or indeed anyone in my life dies, and I'm asked to do the eulogy, then oh God, just don't.
I just want, Andy, if you're ever talking about me to anybody after I'm gone, just analogies. That's all I want. He left it all on the pitch. That sort of stuff. Well done, though. Well done. I think you like that was really good because you created a kind of a stir, out of nothing, which is well done. That's really good.
Well, I'm hoping that what I was trying to do was hit, because like obviously I had spoken to you a little bit and understood
between my constant fits of shitting. Yeah.
Yes.
Just to clear, I did not actually have anything wrong with my bowels last week. I was just feeling a little bit under the weather. That's all.
Well, I was hoping to merge like general life things, not illness and stuff, mixed with the fact that we couldn't do the podcast. And I was hoping that, like, on one hand, I would hit a note with you that you would understand the things I was talking about, and on the other hand. Okay, so you got what I was talking about. Tick.
Ticked the box there,
I'm sorry, listener, but you're going to have to get closer to this man if you want to understand what I mean. And but also giving the other,
got physically close to that guy, he shits himself. Ugh.
And then the other side being kind of somehow just kind of explaining to everyone you can't do it this week because under the weather. But maybe that side of it maybe just got a little too loose. I got a bit loosey goosey,
like my bowels,
like your bowels. Like
by the sounds of it, I'm just inferring a meaning from your very vague.
Do what you will with that. Do what you will.
Whatever you want. The floor is all of yours. Nothing. Write what you want. Nothing is libelous. Andy has given you all the legal cover that you could possibly require.
It's like one of those, read your own adventure stories. This podcast is read your own podcast. We give you the bits. You fill in the podcast middle. We're back next week telling you where you ended up, or didn't, or should have. So yeah, sprinkles of fairy dust. That's what we provide. So
well done, though. Well done. I did think it was interesting about you said something last week about would you rathers and how sometimes people don't want, in your case you specifically mentioned your students, but that there's a reflex there to not even want to answer a would you rather, like this real aversion to picking to making a decision between two really bad choices. And it really chimed with me, to be honest with you. When I heard that, I was like, yeah, sure, that I really feel the same thing, and it's gas when you've got a game like that, or someone like you who's marshalling the game, and that you force an answer from somebody, to get them used to that. And I thought it's very interesting to hear because if you're seeing it in the behavior of children, I think who haven't been exposed to maybe the societal norms, or maybe haven't had societal norms imposed on them as much as, let's say, an adult would have. So when you're an adult, there's an answer expected, and you can't say no. So that
Yeah.
reflex has been kind of dulled. But when you're a kid,
Mhm.
that reflex, I would say, is quite strong. So you're seeing something that's quite honest in human behavior when a child does it, I think.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I thought that was very interesting when you said, like, because I understand that. I definitely understand that point when you're asked a would you rather, you're given two like really bad choices, and then no
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
choice you give, because we're doing it in a group, there's going to be no right answer a lot of the times. And number two, if you give one of a wrong answer in a group of friends, which we have, who will relentlessly take the piss out of you for you'll have to, because you have to stand up for your decision.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
aim of
Yeah.
the game. You have to be able to argue your point. So it's not just a matter of just choosing and then stopping. It's a matter of
Mhm.
choosing and then really fighting your corner. So
Yeah.
I liked that little what's the word, insight into
What was the would you rather again? I've forgotten already. What
I
was
can't
the
remember what the
question
would
I
you
asked?
rather was, but I can't remember what the would you rather was. It was just a point that you made where you said, often when you're playing it, one of your rules is you have to give an answer, that you have to, and that kids often don't want to even give an answer. And I suppose in your never-ending quest to prepare these young minds for the world, Andy, you're like, nope, give an answer. Bees or
Well,
wasps? Which one?
bees or wasps. Oh yeah, that was it. Wasps or rats,
Something like.
wasn't it? Wasp
Oh,
or
that was
rats?
last week. That was not
Oh,
last week. That
that
was
was.
would you rather
Oh, that
you
was two
gave me
weeks ago.
before, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I have worked in schools though where
No, it was a
and
marble. Marble stuck up the nose.
oh
Marble
yes, that was
stuck
it.
up the
Yeah, it
nose, or a
was.
head stuck in the gate.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, yeah, I have been called out on that. Like I'm not that much of a general that I don't. I tend to just kind of want to force them because like to show them what the there's no loss to this. It's not going to happen to you, and dealing with the fact of it. But I have been in situations where other adults have been in the room, and some adults are very like when you say to kids. I was in one particular school I was in, like the way you say, okay, I want everyone to heads down, close your eyes, and we're gonna do whatever, we're going, I'm going to pick a name, or I'm going to draw. I don't know, whatever reason. Okay, now it sounds weird when I get all the kids to close their eyes.
Yeah. So what's that setting up? What's the setup there when you're?
Well, in this case, it would be for the would you rather's to try and get them to not be influenced by their each friend's votes
Ah,
and what they're
okay,
doing. So in that
right.
situation, but I was doing it one day, and another educator that was in the room got really annoyed at me because you can't force kids to close their eyes. You can't make them close their eyes. And
Okay.
part of me was kind of like, yeah, okay, respect, I guess. Yeah. But the other part of me is just like, okay, just
What
like
what did she
just
what did she mean? You can't force them to
Well,
close
I
their
guess some
eyes.
people, a kid might be just very uncomfortable with that. I guess, or anyone might be uncomfortable with
Really?
just being. I don't know. I've been in a school where balloons were banned, man, just because there was because someone had a fear of balloons, and so
Oh
there
my
was
god,
never a balloon ever. Like for 5 6 years, I think was there was never
God,
a balloon.
that seems a bit
And
over the top. If I'm perfectly honest, Andy. All
yeah,
for
I
inclusion and that, but that seems a
I
little bit strange.
I
If
would
you can't if you can't confront your fear of balloons, then you're going to
I
have a
don't.
rough time in the old world.
Mhm. I would love to know how it ended up for that kid.
Just every
In
job they
ter-
go to, they have to ban the balloons in the company. That's the way it is.
or just like that kind of not dealing with shit. Like
Yeah.
is there just some things that you're gonna have to deal with, and maybe balloons
I,
is
I feel pretty safe in saying that balloons in your lifetime is something you're going to have to confront at some
just,
stage.
just at some
And I
stage.
feel like the like the risk reward factor, I think it's heavily stacked in the reward side, I would say. I mean, balloons.
I did
Gee.
have a balloon blow up in my face today, which is not a
Like,
nice experience. Which is that, but
no, but like worst case scenario, you're
a little
bang,
shocked.
you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you get a little bit
My
frightened.
my younger son discovered that he had the lung capacity now to blow up a balloon, which is quite a a moment in a kid's life to
Mm.
realize they now have the power to blow a balloon up or whatever.
Can he
Some
tie?
balloons.
Can he tie the knot though?
Can't tie the knot. No. Well,
Then
we
he
didn't
doesn't
even.
have.
You know,
Then he has
big-
fuck all power. To be
just
honest,
go back to
Yeah.
fucking school. You fucking
Yeah.
troll.
It's like I can half tie my shoelace. Oh yeah, go and run around the place.
Well,
So man, fucking,
I- I would disagree with you there because he was getting great kick out of blowing up the balloon and then just
true.
letting it go and seeing where it goes and the chaos that a
Farty
balloon
noise.
brings. Farty
It is
noise
fun,
mixed
actually.
with chaos in because even the movements of a balloon that's going like is just is comedy actually. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
the
true,
way it
actually.
moves is extreme. So he was getting a great kick out of that.
It's a whole new world that he's opened up for himself. That's really beautiful.
And thankfully, no fears, no phobias. He dealt with the whole thing. I think probably the balloon smashing in my face or blowing in my face probably helped him deal with it because he got to see
Okay.
my reaction. Ah! Fuck! I'm dying. Call 112 just really overly dramatically to show him that this is like close to the end of the world time. Oh, son, get closer. No, closer. I don't have much time.
I really got frustrated when I was younger about the long, slender balloons trying to blow those up. That really pissed me off. They're so
Jesus.
difficult to blow up.
Yeah.
You know, like I felt
I
like
feel like there's some sort of tumor, or not tumor. What's they call it? Hernia. There's definitely going to be, like, at our age, we need to be careful of those kind of balloons. The amount of power that's. I feel like, you know, in the same comical way when you blow a balloon and you squeeze one part and another part pops out. I feel like that's hernia territory for us. Like we're trying to blow up a balloon, and next thing some other part of our body just goes.
But you can't stop because you have to get the balloon blown up. You can't. You can't fail at that.
All you can do is push back in the lump to get the air to go back into the balloon, and then deal with that later.
Your science checks out, man. I think that's how it works. I think that's how it works.
Hot air balloons.
So you've got like a lump sticking out of your groin, and that's just appeared after you've tried to blow up.
I do. Oh, you know.
Can't get this balloon inflated. Wait, let me push this lump. Oh, lumpy britches. And that's I'll try it next time.
Do. But so balloons on the menu.
Hernias.
Balloons for the hernias. Have you ever had a hernia?
I haven't. Yes,
Sorry,
but
I don't even know if
that's
that's a private question. If that's a big
it
thing,
kind of is, but I think the fact that it was a no is it means its privacy is less important. I think a hernia, but the day is but a pup, you know. So I might get one yet. You wouldn't know. They're kind of hereditary, but also not. Don't have to be hereditary either.
Didn't know they were hereditary.
I think so. I think they can be. Yeah, like it's a weakness in the lining of the intestine, isn't it? Not lining of the intestine, but the muscle wall that holds in the intestine. I think, or something like that.
Jesus, you're a well of knowledge.
Look, I say these things, and then I go back and go, "Was I right? Was I correct in saying that?" Something happens, but I'm nearly certain there's like a wall of, let's say, muscle and tissue that holds into your intestines, and I think it's like if you strain those muscles and they get weak, if you can tear it, you can actually tear that wall, and then your intestine can pop out. And the big danger then is if you this is turned into a real fucking
I was just looking at you there going, okay.
And the danger, Andrew, but take this seriously for 1 minute. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you. You can find out for yourself what the dangerous part of getting a hernia is.
You're
That's
actually
up to you.
You're after reminding me of something else that I spoke about.
I have a hernia
last week. But was I somehow rambled unintentionally.
You thought you've had a boner for the last 2 months, but it's actually a hernia. You're like,
no, you didn't remind me of that. You reminded me of last week, and just because again, like I think with a lot of the episodes that we do, I don't know what I've said and never listen back to it.
Yeah.
Or not that I don't know what I said. I would just have a hazy memory of what we talked about, and then I try
It's all a
to.
blur.
It's all
It's
a
all a
blur.
blur.
Often because I'm just drinking tea tonight. I should be fine. Um, but I last week on the kind of the solo rambling is even more a kind of a, you forget the last 60 seconds because it's just like it's a continuous stream of talking. So I can maybe understand why you listened back to yours to check it. But I did get talking about breaking my nose in a hurling match. And
Yes, yeah, you did actually.
I
Yeah.
don't know how I
Just-
rambled onto that, but I did. But I did get a nice message from him from my mate afterwards. You were never the same after. I was never the same hurler after putting back on the helmet. Master said that night. This is what he wrote to me. You were never the same after putting on the helmet. Mass was said in the pitch at the night of the break. You never knew that, but it was done for you. A local man sacrificed a side of veal. A local butcher, I won't say the name. A local butcher sacrificed a side of veal. It was just around, actually, but that's neither here nor there. That's the point. At this point, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was
Nice.
quite entertaining. So another valued listener. The 13 minutes clearly.
This has just turned into like.
Oh, you've just muted yourself for some reason halfway through.
Sorry,
that.
my finger slipped. So this is turning into like a medical ailments episode or something, like where we just talk about the scars we've picked up and the potential scars awaiting us as we navigate middle age. I just go back to. He needs to find a way to pass through the hard rock that is his life. So dramatic.
Well, I could have said, yeah.
You've had a hard life.
Yeah.
You've had a hard life. I mean, you got your nose smashed into a million pieces.
I did.
And then you couldn't breathe for 10 years or something, was it, before you got it done?
Before I got the septum realigned. Yes.
Yeah, because you just said, fuck it. That's just 10 years now. I'm just going to not breathe through my nose for 10 years.
It wasn't me. It was the doctor that recommended it. But it turns out jokes on him
lazy
jokes
doctor.
on him because I managed to get into that nose and break it because the helmet smashed in against it at one point and then bent it and it was just a minor deviation. But it did work out. No, he was right. I guess in the end, he said he shouldn't fix it. So the helmet didn't save it. But yeah, after that, then it was but Germany sorted that shit out. And I live to tell the tale.
Yeah, like that did sound horrible having those two things stuffed up your nose to keep the shape of the nostrils. And how's it going for you now? A nose update, is it still good? Or still
You hear that?
every day you wake up and smell the flowers?
Yeah, no, it's all good now. I believe. Oh, as good as it gets. It was never perfect, but it's fine. I did have a just since we're on ailments, and I do have a song that I want to kind of talk about as well.
Okay,
it's this is going to be a two-part series. This is going to be a two-part series. I've still got something I want to share with you that I just happened yesterday. Go on, you've got your hand up.
Before you get into that, have you anything to promote before we get into the?
Once again, the 11th of June. We are playing our Get Folk Live session in Posh Teckle. I think I mentioned it last week as well.
You did. Wednesday, the 11th of June.
Yes.
Wednesday, 11th
of June. I would say 8 o'clock. We should have we're trying to organize an old poster there for the coming gig. Hopefully we'll have something on the Instagram page, the Telegram group, and I don't know whether to look into
Telegram. I still think Telegram is fake, or you're just making it up, something just to placate me to say you are doing social media stuff. I've never heard of Telegram. Am I just way behind?
This is not social media. Telegram is not social media. Telegram is WhatsApp, man, except for Russians. I think it's a Russian owned.
Look, well, as far as I know, WhatsApp is classified as social media.
Oh, really?
So, I do believe so, Andrew.
Really?
Sorry to say.
Okay. Well, then Telegram is social media, and we are using that medium for our promotion of our gigs. We've got a little Telegram group. So yeah, next. So that's what is that? Not this Wednesday. So next Wednesday. God, it comes around fucking fast. Wednesday week, met up with the lads, meeting up with Kaya, who's going to playing with us on the Wednesday as well. She'll be playing songs from the album she wrote during lockdown. And yeah, should be a good night. We're gonna try a little different kind of a setup as well, just in because I'm always trying to kind of tinker with the order. I don't know if we talked about it the last time, but when we played in Posh Tackle and we had the Paddy's Day thing, we had us for like two, and then yeah. So I think maybe I've talked about this, but this time it's going to be just me to start it off with two songs, me solo.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm going to try a new song, not one of my own, a very old folk song that I found actually after you talked about what was the song, Mates When You're Young.
Yeah.
And you said something about it was banned. Is that right? It was banned in Ireland or something. It was banned,
yeah.
which kind of
So
got me
filthy.
interested in kind of songs that were banned. And then I stumbled upon a song called Polly, Pretty Polly, which I think maybe I've mentioned in previous podcasts. I can't remember. But so yeah, I just kind of found that song, and it's a guy sings, Ralph Stanley, who does a version of "Oh Death" from "Oh Brother Where Art Thou."
Yeah.
Another song that I sing. He had a version of that, so I kind of went down a rabbit hole of looking up this stuff, and so yeah, I'll do what we'll do is we'll do a little 2-part podcast today. Well, we won't do 2 parts today. We'll do part 1 of 2, which is going to be me, because this song has been rewritten 3 times, which is kind of weird. So the first version of the song was written in the 18th century or something like that in Gosport. So it was called the Gosport tragedy, which was Gosport is a place in Hampshire in England. Anyway, I'm drifting on, but anyway, that's the So the 11th of June, I'll be playing that gig with the Hawk and Twang gang and Kaya. I can't remember her second name, but yeah, that's all I got.
Excellent. And just to update you on what I said about WhatsApp, WhatsApp, it's best actually classified as a social messaging app rather than a full-fledged social media platform. So my apologies, I was kind of misleading there. So there you go.
Yeah, a bit indignant there. So you were.
I was, because I got really close to the microphone like that.
You did.
Actually, Andrew. So let me retract that along with my indignation, and that's it.
Nice. Other news from the week before we drift into the world of those songs. Yeah. So you know where I live in Berlin.
I do.
By you, I mean everyone that's listening right now. You know where I live in Berlin. Anyway, I live near a train station, an underground train station, pretty close to it, but a nice area. Like, it's generally pretty nice here. But like you can walk a block or a street into another place, and you can kind of, it can not. I don't necessarily think anywhere is particularly rough, as in I'm afraid for my life. At least I will only say that from my perspective. But I am a 6 foot, fairly big, well endowed young man. So so they say.
Lump in my pants. 2 months and counting. That's all I'm saying.
Doctor says it's cool. Doctor says it's cool.
Don't touch it. That's what he said.
Don't touch it. Just don't. But went out of our apartment on, let's say, Thursday. Oh, Thursday was a day off here. Actually, it was Ascension Day. Did you know that we celebrate that in Ireland? You fucking heathens over there. No, you didn't take a day off to celebrate the fact that he's ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of the Lord.
Oh, I didn't actually.
There you go now. That. The Germans do.
Fuck.
And so it leads into, so what it means is it's day off on Thursday, and everyone takes like what they call in Germany a Brückentag, or a bridge day. Do we call them bridge days in Ireland? Do we ever say bridged?
That's only something I came across. I only remember coming across that in Germany, where the bank holiday falls on the Thursday and everybody takes the Friday off.
Yeah.
Friday's the bridge day, isn't that it? I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Normally we're cute about it in Ireland, and we go, let's put it to the Monday.
Yeah.
Something might fall on the Thursday. But we'll mark it on the Monday.
Yes, exactly.
We have the weekend off. We'll be cute like that.
Oh yeah, you actually have tomorrow off, don't you? Tomorrow is a bank holiday.
Tomorrow is a bank holiday, and I bet you, guess what? It's probably for the Ascension.
Probably for the Ascension, and they just flipped it over there to the other side. Mm-hmm.
Did an old flipperoo.
So flippity flop, flippity flop. But anyways, and I've spoken before about the nice system of people leaving shit out that you can pick up, like one man's trash is another man's treasure type system.
Yes, this
Anyway,
isn't to be confused with the system of people actually leaving shit out on the footpath in front of your house.
which
Leaving
is
actual
kind of
shit.
actual shit.
Also a system that some people have. Don't know
Thankfully,
why.
that's died down a bit recently. The nappies have. Thankfully, the person whoever was doing the pull up nappy thing has moved on somewhere else, greener pastures.
Obviously, their child has been potty trained. They don't need to pull up nappies
So they didn't
anymore.
need to come back to our house anymore and dump all the nappies here. But someone in our building, so not even on the street, someone in our building left out fucking 3 mattresses in the hallway. And our hallway is not that big.
No, it's small.
Yeah, and I was just like, that is an ignorant fucking thing to do. It's just like leave mattresses in our own hallway. So anyway, I saw them and I was like, oh, they better come back into that, and considered writing a note, kind of going, this isn't cool. Please take these back and put them away. Considered it. Anyway, Thursday night came and one of the mattresses had gone, and I was like, what the fuck? So anyways, right outside our door, someone had left the mattress down there, and lo and behold, because it's warm, like 25, 26 degrees in Berlin, and there's a mattress left outside a door, guess what happened?
Someone decided to sleep on it.
Someone decided to sleep on it. So I was like, okay, all right, whatever. There's someone sleeping right outside the door. It's not like, we live in a city, and in terms of kind of a city that's kind of, yeah, it's not unheard of. But saw it, and I knew actually the guy who was sleeping on it. Not that I know him, but I've seen him around, kind of like he's got a sleeping rough, and I've seen him being a bit aggressive towards people in the local area. I hadn't seen him in a long time, but I have seen him being aggressive towards people where they won't give him money. Anyways, saw him sleeping there. That was about 8:30, 9, and then I came out the following morning, and it was about 10:30. He was still sleeping there. Like he was getting over 12 hours. He's getting like a real stint in there.
You're not supposed to do that, I think. I think that's actually bad for you. Don't they say that? You're not supposed to sleep more than 8 hours, 9 hours.
Oh, really? Oversleeping? Okay.
You should have told him.
Listen, I'll direct him onto the podcast and say, listen, if you want to sort your life out health-wise, you should just tune in here. We cover all the angles, all the crevices, all the
ailments.
all the ailments.
Real and imaginary.
So
sorry.
Anyways, eventually he got up and left, or he got up at some point. So I was like, right, okay. When night falls, I'd walked around with the boys and I'd found a skip that had been left outside. So I was like, I'm going to dump it in there when the time is right. So anyway, go on.
No, it's just you're fucking with this guy's circadian rhythm. That's all, and I'm not sure that's cool.
So
he's not going to know what's up, what's down. It's just he's going to be all over the place.
Yeah, I think maybe the excessive sleeping may have already had done that for him, because later on that day whatever happened anyway, I came back to my apartment. I was like, oh, the mattresses have gone. The mattress had gone from the outside the door, and I was like, oh, thank fuck, someone moved it. Lo and behold, the mattress is back in our hallway again.
Fuck's sake.
Except this time, like, wet, because it had obviously, like, not. I don't think it was piss, but it was just like, it wasn't piss. Because
look, can I just say, right? That's
small mercies.
That's the type of certainty that you need when identifying wet stains on a mattress. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not piss.
And my system for checking these things is to get right in there.
Get right in there with the schnoz. I mean, you've gotten a second chance with that nose, Andy. You might as well use it.
And it's a gift. It's a gift.
Yeah, it's piss. This guy's circadian rhythm is also fucked up, by the way. Judging by the smell of this piss, his circadian rhythm is all over the place. So now I was faced with, like, okay, I was intending on putting that mattress in the skip. Now we're back to 3 mattresses again in our hallway. I'm not fucking carrying all these mattresses up with me. So anyway,
I
Oh my god.
left the mattresses in the hallway, came into my apartment, was like, "Grand, I'll just think about it for a while." So went outside a bit later. Anyway, mattress is still there, and next thing across the way, like near, like there's a lovely bench across the road from where I live, where we
Mm.
often go and just chill out, especially on the weather like this. We like to go out there and kind of just chill out, and it's a good people watching spot. And we're going out, and next thing I saw the guy sitting on the bench. And I was like, oh fuck! Like I can see him now. Like he's pining for his. He's remembering what he had, and where's it gone? And he obviously had come back in here, and I was kind of. I guess if you're like, listen, I'm not sure if he's a junkie or if he's kind of whatever he's on, but I guess when you get into when if you're in that world of like whatever homelessness and possibly drugs, I guess there's a certain homing beacon that probably clicks in of the place I slept last night. I'll return back there. You get into this kind of like rhythm of where you've been circadian rhythm or whatever. But I imagine this is what my theory was is like whenever that because there used to be a guy that actually kind of used to sleep on that bench across the way. He was really kind of nice, kind of old man, and then he just kind of and once he kind of got into that rhythm in the summertime, he was always there every morning, just sitting there, just drinking a coffee, but would sleep there in the night, whatever.
Mm.
Anyways, I saw him across the way and didn't seem very healthy because I actually walked past him and he's grunting a lot and just kind of being a bit kind of odd or whatever, but he's always odd. However, then I saw he got up and he took about 2 steps forward in towards the street, but like there's a big tree and there's a kind of around the tree is a little tiny little dwarf fence, or do you call it a dwarf fence? Like I don't know.
Well,
Father calls
yeah, I know the
small
one you
walls
mean, like a
dwarf
little
walls.
border, little
Yeah,
border fence. Yeah.
yeah. Not being offensive there. The fact that I'm saying it now probably is making it more offensive. But
Oh god, shit, you fucked it up there.
I'll be fine. I can take him. So so he walked towards this like between the street, the tiny fence, and there was also a scooter that had a cover over it, and he just face planted. Not face
Oh
planted, but
god.
like just lay down face in the floor and just was out. Like I didn't see him kind of moving at all. And I was like, oh fuck, like what the hell's after happening to him? So and it was wet, like Berlin is really warm at the moment, but also stormy. It's kind of got that like it's just really muggy. What's the Germans call it? Schwul.
Schwül.
Schwul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said to someone today schmool, and he said, "Don't ever say that." And actually didn't look up what schmool is. If you could get I didn't actually say what is.
I'm on it.
Can you
I'm
hand
on
it? Okay, you could say anything now. Schmool, schmool. Go on. Anyways, I'll just paint the picture. So anyway, he face planted himself, and he seemed to be like just out of it. And everyone that was passing by, because it was getting dark, it was kind of raining, and there's a human, what's looking like lying in the like not even like on a mattress now, which kind of had people giving him second looks, but walking on because this person was in the most uncomfortable place. It's wet, and they are face down on it. So everyone that's passing by, it's quite an interesting thing on society to watch so many people see him, take notice, and walk on. And it
Yeah.
happened. Our people stop, look, and just consider what to do next, but then kind of continue on. But eventually, I kind of felt I had the guilt, and I was like, okay, I got to go over and maybe call the ambulance, and check how he is. So I walked over and I met a German lady that was there, and she had actually stopped and was looking at it as well. She had a little dog, and I told her like what I had seen, and that and she said she would call the ambulance, and I was like, yeah, please do so. So we both stood there, and we were calling the ambulance, or she was calling the ambulance, and she called the ambulance, and well, was on the phone and explaining, yeah, I'm at Birkenstrasse here, blah blah blah. This person is lying down, and next thing the guy just was like in German, but just do what my translation was. fuck off, you ass kisser. Don't want the fucking, fuck off, ass kisser. Fuck. I just kept calling her ass kisser, us ass kissers.
Oh.
And then I said to her, I was like, yeah, listen, I kind of seen this guy around. We should just walk away now because he could get very aggressive at any point, like, because he's just not with it as well. So then I had to. So she was like, "What? What?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's just walk." And you know me, sometimes when I'm talking to people, I don't like, even though I'm working in international schools the whole time. I think when I'm out of work mode, I go back to cryptic mode of talking. And I was just like walking back with her,
Did
and I
you
walked up.
did you say something along the lines of, "Look, this guy just needs to find a way to pass through the hard rock that is his life"? Did you say that to her?
This guy's full of schmool. He's riddled with the schmool.
Okay, sorry. So sorry. You felt you maybe weren't being as clear as you
No,
probably.
no. But
Oh
but now
God.
I was walking away from where this guy was, and away from where I was, and now I was just kind of walking with this person who I've never met before, and I started to kind of think to myself, like, I must be freaking this person out now, like, because I was telling her, like, I know that guy, but don't go near him. He's very dangerous. But I just got you to ask you to call an ambulance for him, and now I'm just walking with you as well. And I'm sure she was at some point going, when is he going to fuck off? So anyways, that was my good deed for the fucking day backfiring. Anyway, eventually the guy got up 5-10 minutes later. He saw him walking up towards a very busy Späti, little off licensee shop, and kind of wanted to I did and I didn't. I felt it was going to be I wanted to see what would happen when he's interacting with other people, but I ended up not following him.
Okay.
Maybe because I didn't know if it was going to be there was something about it that made me go, I'm kind of concerned, but I want to see, and I might just being kind of a little bit gossipy isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. Wanting to
Busybody.
see busybody, maybe, yeah. So anyway, didn't do that. Came back into the flat, and lo and behold, when I got back into the flat, the 3 mattresses were gone,
Oh.
and I just don't know where they
Wow.
are, and I don't know where things go at night during the
Isn't
day.
that
And just,
God, is it amazing the anarchy that those 3 mattresses caused?
I'm just like, oh, it's just so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, so but I'm sure if I did a good old walk around the neighborhood, I'd probably find that the fucking they've probably made a makeshift music studio like we used to do with mattresses. There's actually a
Let
recording
me tell
being
you,
made of a.
there's 2 things that mattresses are really, really good for. 1, absorbing piss, and 2, dulling the sound in a recording studio when you're trying to record.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely brilliant. Just second to none.
It's why both my bathroom and the small room is just jammed packed full of mattresses, and my kids don't understand it. And Paul, Paul doesn't, and maybe part of me doesn't, but I know I'm right. I just know I'm right.
You're going on gut at this stage. You're
Just like,
going on gut now.
kids, just trust me. Trust me. This will make sense eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, that was
but
my.
there's man, you get such a what's the word? I'm not sure what the word is, but you get to see such a broad cross section of life experience where you are.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, yeah. I think I do think about it sometimes, kind of in like, wouldn't I prefer to live in just like a place that's just nice? But then everywhere has its fucking skeletons in the closet, and I have to say that, like, as shitty as it is to maybe have someone sleeping outside your street or calling you an ass fucking kisser or liquor, I can't remember what he
Ass
said,
kisser, yeah.
for calling whatever, an ambulance to help out.
Yeah.
There's something very
Classic
grounding
ass
about the
kisser
whole
move.
thing.
Yeah. Well, I think it would really help you. I don't know what's the word. Like, it's something I was about to say something really bad there. Like, it would help you kind of appreciate how the good things in your life, but that kind of diminishes that other person to merely being like a lesson for you or something, which is not very nice. So, but like,
But I know what you mean. I guess
yeah, you know what I mean.
perspective, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And,
perspective, exactly. But ass kisser. I mean, do you know what? I really kind of admire the guy in a way. he had a kind of he was just really did not want that ambulance, and
Well, I
he
could
could
say
have
you could see the
communicated that in
headache.
several ways, but he decided to get a few licks in
You did.
while he was telling you, "Don't call
Hmm.
that ambulance, you
Hmm.
fucking ass kisser." Just,
I
I'm
get
not.
really indignant with him. Then I was like, I'm not fucking ass kisser. Fucking,
You're
I
an
hate
ass
the
kisser. I'm
system,
not
just
an.
like you.
Yeah.
Just get down beside him and start fucking. I'll do it. I'm not fucking afraid. Now who's the ass kisser?
Yeah, I God,
Trading
I like.
places.
Jeez, hard life
It
there,
is
man.
there.
But
There's a lot of fucking heartbreaking shit in the area. But I guess Dublin, Limerick. I'm sure there are areas that it's the same as well. But
I, d- I got a bus there from Limerick bus station, central bus station, bus hours, and it's in a kind of an area of town in Limerick where it's just a bit of rougher kind of side of town maybe. But like that, like I've noticed in Limerick that drug users are a lot more visible than I ever remember them being in Limerick. Like so, I've been around Limerick on and off for the last maybe 20 years or that, and I don't remember them being as visible. Like people with there's a quite a distinctive look which I associate with maybe crack users, um, that they've got like little little scab marks on their
pock
face, all over their
pock
face.
marks. Yeah.
But yeah, right. So little tiny little bits of blemishes and scarring on their face, and just walking around in a daze and just kind of all hours of the day, every day of the week. And I saw these two guys. Uh, Another thing, like they were standing outside of a barber shop up there across from the bus station, and this like they stand they're talking to each other, having a face to face conversation, but they stand so close to each other, like people on drugs, high on drugs. They're really in each other's space, like in any other social interaction, it'd be like, oh, there's a fight about to break out here. But no, these guys were like having like
Intimate.
a nice conversation, but they were just right in each other's faces, and they decided to have a cigarette, and one lad was had a lighter, the other lad didn't, and so the guy who didn't have the lighter was trying to give the other guy the lighter. This took place over the course of 30 seconds. The fucking lighter was dropped, I'd say 5 times, just trying to pass it over and back to get this fucking cigarette lit. And like I said, the two guys were just they were too close. If they just took a step back from each other and had this conversation like normal distance, it would have been so much more efficient. But they were so energetic. They were just so like hopping up and down and just like in and out towards each other. It was like a little dance that was going on. Like
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
our
So these were
friend, our
they
friend who
they
does a
were
dance.
buzzing.
They were buzzing, like yeah, they were buzzing, but they were
Oh,
like
okay,
so
right.
energetic. And then another fella came out of the barbers, seemed to know them, but wasn't as high, so he was back about a foot from them. But the two guys, it was so fucking funny, and like just the body language, just so amusing to look at because it was just so unnatural looking. And then this group of young lads walked past them, and they must have been, I say, the age of between 7 and 10. They ranged in that age group, and they're fucking vaping away, I was like, Jesus Christ, like that young, just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
just so the whole other world. So you talk about like any city, it is in any city, like it is in every city, like and
Hmm.
again, I love Limerick. I fucking the town is just brilliant. Like it's so fun. It's a fun place, great places to go out. Great people as well. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what city you're in.
Yeah,
You will
yeah,
see
yeah.
that.
Well, because the whole thing gets squeezed into certain corners as well. I think whatever, if it's city planners or
For sure.
mayors or the cops, they have to go right, contain it in this section, in this section, in this section.
I don't know
Um,
if it's that conscious, actually, to be honest with you. I think it's a byproduct maybe of like broader socio-economic factors that are hard or maybe impossible to control. And I think it's
mhm.
a byproduct of those things, of a wider system that's just not under anyone's control. So what we can only do is try and tackle it from the other side, put money into maybe regenerating an area and providing like employment opportunities and like social kind of programs for people to occupy themselves and things like that. But that's where the system breaks down again. The second part, and the second
the gentrification of places, and then the is that what you mean? The second part?
No, I mean like you've got areas that are you could use lots of different terms. I suppose the most commonly used term is disadvantaged, and you've got like high levels of unemployment, and maybe not much for people to do there. Sometimes it's made hard for things make it hard for people to access education, or I don't know. To be honest, I'm not an expert on it, so it's very hard for me to speak about it. But I don't know. But it's very. I stick to maybe. I shouldn't really be commenting because I'm not that educated on it, so I feel a bit ignorant talking about it. But I just did think it was funny just seeing the body language of the two guys, and just how close it was. Fucking just so funny how close they were to each other and just fucking up each other's space, and it's just, I don't know. Don't know what the answer is, but yeah.
But I think what you're kind of tapping into is a similar thing, Brennan. Like there's a certain charm to a place when it has, like, I'm not saying that everyone we need the crack, we need more crack in the streets because it's bringing a certain amount of charm, but I don't know. There's there's like, but like
good.
just
not saying
just
that.
No, but like just I don't know. There's a reality to it all as well that's somehow not uplifting, but just I don't know, grounding. It's grounding to see all this, and then just. So I'm not sure what point we're going to rejoin here, but we had a little bit of a technical hiccup there. So you rejoin, or we rejoin you. You rejoin us in real time. It's been time. It's a weird concept to understand, listener, but time has barely passed for you. A split second has passed for you, but for us, at least 3 minutes, not 5.
I think it's we need to be careful because I think that was Zencaster. That was Universe just going, you have to fucking clue what you're talking about. You haven't done any research. You've just wandered blindly into this subject. Which is fine when you're talking about bowels and poos. But when you're talking about serious social issues, just shut the fuck up. I'm ending this now. So let's just take our cue from the Universe.
The sales of crack cocaine just went fucking skyrocketing. They had to shut down the internet just to deal with all the Google searches that were happening. And we haven't even published it yet. Come here. Since we have only about 4.5, let's say 4 to 6 minutes left before Substack mutes us once more for another week, I do want to share a song. So I was saying that I'm going to be playing songs by myself next week in our next Wednesday week for the Get Folked live session. Anyway, and the song that I stumbled upon was a song called Polly Pretty Polly, or Pretty Polly, actually, sorry, which is a song that has been rewritten twice, and the first version of it, called the Gosport Tragedy, was written I believe in the 18th century. Now I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it a little bit. I'm just going to go through it, and then I'll read verses out because I don't know the tune of this one, and I'll have a recording for you next week of the my Pretty Polly version. In Gosport of late there a damsel did dwell, for wit and for beauty did many excel. A young man did court her to be his dear, and he by his trade was a ship carpentare. Bit of a stretch there with the old rhyming.
You're going to work on that on the night.
But it also says that, like, in the little bit that I was reading about it, it's like that the pronunciation in 18th century, they did pronounce it a carpentare as opposed to a carpenter. It's carpentare. Okay. So I don't know.
You're going to sound like a fucking knob if you say it like that.
Carpentare.
Carpentare.
He said, "Oh dear Molly, if you will agree and will consent
Polly
to marry
or Molly?
me." Molly. In this version, it's Molly. Yeah.
Oh.
My love, you will ease me of sorrow and care if you will but wed a ship carpentare. Carpentare. I kind of want to do. I would love to learn this version, but I think it's 32 verses long. This entire
Holy
song.
moly.
Yeah. With blushes more charming than roses in June, she answered sweet William, told I'm too young. Spelled Towed. Towed?
Jesus.
Towed
Don't know.
Yeah. I think we're into kind of Shakespearean. When was Shakespeare alive?
I don't know. 15, I'm going to guess 1500s.
Okay. Okay, so it's not Shakespeare's English we're reading here. Young men are so fickle, I see it very plain. I see very plain, if a maid is not coy, they will her disdain. They flatter and swear their charms they adore. When gained their consent, they care for no more. The handsomest creature that ever was born, when man has enjoyed, he will hold in scorn. My charming Molly, what makes you say so? The beauty's the haven to which I would go. So into that country I chance for to steer. There will cast anchor and stay with my dear. I ne'er shall be cloyed with the charm of my love. My love is as true as the turtle dove, and all I crave is to wed with my dear. And when thou art mine, no danger I fear. The life of a virgin, sweet William,
He's coming
I
on
prize.
strong. He's coming on fucking strong there now, isn't he? Like, Jesus Christ, that would wreck you. Like, alarm bells should have been ringing there for Molly. Like, that shit.
Needy.
This guy's got mommy issues.
The life of a virgin, sweet William, I prize. For marriage brings sorrows and troubles likewise. She seems like a smart cookie. I am loath to venture and therefore forbear, for I will not wed a ship carpentare.
Fucking dead right.
For in time of war the sea you must go, and leave wife and children in sorrow and woe. The seas they are perilous, therefore forbear, for I will not wed with a ship carpentare.
Yeah. Is she being sarcastic about his pronunciation of the word ship carpentare? Do you think?
She's just...
Oh, did you mean carpenter? Well, I'll wed one of those.
Mocking the shit out of him every time.
It's relentless.
How are we doing on time, man? Because I won't get to the end of it. What we can do is
that's
post
it.
a little
You're out of time probably. But William Shakespeare was born in 1564 and died in 1616.
Nice, Ed. Fucking nailed it. Just that's for the listeners.
I gave myself a bracket of 100 years. I said the 1500s. That wasn't that accurate.
I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. Listen, you have figured it out, man. You have figured out a lot of shit today in terms of bowels, social
bedrock,
social bedrocks, and
crack
cocaine, everything. A lot for you to chew on this week, listener. And next week, we will continue our little look at the Gosport tragedy, which eventually evolved into being Pretty Polly. And I can also explain to you where the Carpentare came from. But other than that, I wish you all a wonderful week.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Ship Carpentare.
Go on.
No, I don't know. I was about to speak out of hand. Nothing that wasn't going to make sense, so I'm just not going to say it.
All our Carpenter listeners are fucking... What's he want to say? What the fuck does he want to say now?
No, it wasn't about that. It was about next week's podcast. Actually, it's good because next week it'll be before the gig, so you won't have played the gig yet, which is great. And the episode will come out before the gig, so it's going to be a 3-parter, Andy. About this guy.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get through the rest of the song next week, and then we can move on to the second version of the song, which was written about 50, 60 years later, so still in the 18th century. And then the newest version, much shortened version and more concise.
Shorter than 32 verses.
So yeah, listen, I don't know if we'll have enough time to get the outro song. So listen.
Sure, play it anyway.
Love you.
Yeah, lots of love. Ship Carpentare. Could you imagine just if you spoke like that now and you rocked onto the building site and you were like, I'm the Carpentare. Ridicule. They'd Carpentare you a new arsehole. That's what they do. Boom.